Hi, this is Kelly Borsheim. I want to talk to you today about my charcoal drawing. This is Ponte Canal. Ponte means bridge in Italian, and this is Venice, Italy, of course. So I have done all this in charcoal, and now I'm being very critical, and I'm looking at some of the details that I can make this a little bit better, more interesting. So this is the subject of the sentence, or the subject of the sentence, English major. Anyway, the brightest lights are right here, and then I have the dark contrasting of the shadow side of the ponte, or of this arch anyway. The ponte is the bridge here, and the canal is there, and foggy, all that kind of good stuff. So everything that I'm doing is going to support the major idea of this inside, even though I've got all of this in the foreground. This is really the subject. So what I mean by that is behind this building there is another light that is the subject, is putting light on the street, so you're getting a little interest there instead of this all just going dark. So it's interesting, but I'm not going to let it be so bright that it competes with the subject, okay? And then now I'm looking at this, and I felt as though this side, this part of the foreground, was too consistently gray. So what I decided to do was go for reality again as my inspiration, and there's a street light that is above this drawing here, or actually above the arch, because this is a building that goes 3 or 4 stories up in reality. But there's a light here, and it's shining down on this road here. So what I'm going to do is, I've started to do it a little bit already. I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. Now, this is my kneaded eraser. I can bend it and mush it around and whatever. I can make a fine point, or in this case I'm sort of just going to sort of tumble it along to get rid of some charcoal here. And then I've got a little sponge of sorts, and just kind of even out some of this, because this wall is made of the stone under it, but then they put gesso on top and put color on it. So it's a relatively solid wall. Of course, when they get old, they get cracks in them and all that good stuff. But it's a relatively solid wall compared to the stone. This Pietra Serena stone, they've given each block a little texture with the tools and stuff. So what I want to do is kind of lighten the top edge, because the light's coming from the center of the arch. Of course, you would put a street light more centered more often than not. So I want to just kind of have it hit the light. As it goes down, it's going to get a little darker and darker as the light, is falling. It has to take longer to get here, so it's going to be a little darker. But I'm also going to have the light falling a little bit on this wall, a little bit on this wall. So you'll see it's going to get lighter here. And I'm just going to kind of go through this, and then also I'm going to lighten some of this here. But I still want to try to use my strokes to keep the texture of the different qualities of this. You see how I've done the perspective lines, and you get you can tell by this texture this is stone and not just a clear asphalt kind of covered road. So that's what I'm working on, is to do the colored. I've got my Nitram charcoals, and I'm going to make this a little bit darker. And I'm moving around to sort of give this texture of the chiseled look to the stone. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on this, and I appreciate you watching, and thank you very much. This is Kelly Borsheim at borsheimarts.com. Share this video with your friends if you like, and please subscribe and all that good stuff, so you see this sort of material if you like it. Thank you. Okay, so here you're going to see I'm going to be doing this and rubbing it in this way. Okay, getting some of that light look off of there. And then here I've got my strokes going in, but I want to do a little bit more here. I'm thinking about where the spotlight comes down. It's going to majorly hit over in this side, but I kind of like it just going to go off into here, because I know what's coming up next, even though you don't.